Atomic Heart looks absolutely incredible. Uncanny, explosive, intriguing, and sometimes outright bizarre, Atomic Heart has held my interest for a long time now, and with it releasing just a little over a month away, I thought we should probably go over what this game is before I start cracking into it. Set in an alternate timeline of Soviet Russia, Atomic Heart takes place in the 1950s on an island filled with out-of-control killer robots, where a failed experiment to expand human consciousness has led to the complete and total downfall of this utopian facility. Showcasing an approach to combat that blends together a number of games' niches, bearing resemblance to games like Fallout, BioShock, Prey, and even Rage 2. There's this blending of fast-paced, action-packed combat with crazy powers and high-tech weaponry that comes together really nicely in the trailers and promo content so far. But it's not just all about the high-tech weaponry. You'll also be able to use a number of old Soviet arms like AKs and a Makarov that makes it to a lot of showcases. Then there's melee weapons, where you get to use things like pipe wrenches and axes, as well as more high-tech melee weapons like a crazy spinning saw launcher to fight off hordes of rogue AI and whatever else you might face in Facility 3826. Now let's talk about what Facility 3826 is, as well as why you're there and what you're doing. This Soviet scientist invented this new approach of electronic storage in the 1930s called polymer. It paved the way to a real utopian society, pretty much a really scientifically advanced version of the Soviet Union. It's now the 1950s, and that same scientist to invent all of this stuff, Dmitry Sechenov, is about to create robot-to-human interfacing when it all goes wrong. The robots go berserk, and you, P3, need to find the cause of why it all failed. With a massive up to 20-hour campaign, this game is going to have some serious plot to go through as we uncover the secrets of Facility 3826. In Facility 3826, you take the role of Major Sergei Nechaev, otherwise known as P3, a special agent for Dmitry Sechenov that has a bit of a brooding past. After being exposed to P3 plutonium in a lab accident, you were almost killed, but were saved by Sechenov and given metal implants, though the accident left you amnesic, forgetting large parts of your past. It was shortly after this that Sechenov developed the polymer glove for P3, which is the method of all the crazy power stuff you see in the trailers. This glove is hooked up to a lot of technology in Facility 3826, so getting through the various labs will likely result in expanding the capabilities of the polymer glove as you progress through the game. And you're going to need all the powers you can get, as the game seems to throw a large amount of enemy variety your way. From hordes of machines to giant metal monsters, and monsters of the more typical sense, the abilities from the polymer glove will be essential in making your way through the facility. The powers have a lot of inspirations behind them, a real melting pot of capabilities, with ice powers, electric powers, and even the ability to use multiple powers together to increase their effectiveness. It's got a huge Bioshock vibe with all of the interactable powers, as well as them being in the left hand and weapons in the right hand kind of deal. With explosive powers and fast-paced combat, you can see the DNA of a lot of action games from the past decade blended all together. All of that presented with an aesthetic that's almost kind of like the synths from Fallout, zombie mutants that kind of look like infected from Dying Light, and giant Soviet war machines as the opponents of the game. But even though Atomic Heart has a lot of similarities to other games, those are only surface level, and I have a feeling that Atomic Heart will stand out as a really unique gaming experience from this year. It's got that real next-gen type of look to it, one we haven't seen enough of, I'd say. Everything from the animations to the particle effects and the world, even the vibrancy, all gives off this cutting-edge feeling, which is very fitting for a game based on super advanced Soviet science. Exploring the environments of Facility 3826 and then tackling the almost dungeon-like labs with radical intermingling powers and a rather solid arsenal of weapons through this interesting plot? Sign me the frick up, man. So if you want to see more of Atomic Heart from me, let me know in the comments down below, and if you're just tuning into the channel for the first time, consider subscribing to stick around for all the shenanigans. Atomic Heart launches February 21st, so just about a month and a bit away. We're going to be covering it on launch day and probably doing the rounds of tips and tricks and all that fun stuff. But anyway, I'll stop plugging here, but I want to say thank you for watching my video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.